Hello and welcome to our humble Highland home. Thank you so much for joining me here today as I jump straight into the recipe and cook up an early burns supper. I'm going to make this video in two parts, one part showing how I make the Cranachan and the second part I will be cooking up the haggis, neeps and tatties with a whiskey sauce. Cranachan is a traditional dessert normally served in the summertime to celebrate the raspberry seasons, but other berries can be used instead depending on your preference. Traditionally, Cranachan would have been made using Crowdie, a cream-style cheese, but now it tends to be made using a thick cream. Now the recipe is pretty much the same for most people, it's just the quantities that can vary depending on personal taste, but I will leave the recipe in the description below. I'm starting with lightly toasting some jumbo oats. Now I prefer to use jumbo oats, but any oats could be used, except maybe the small harder shelled ones. The aim is to toast the oats to a golden brown colour. Now it's tempting to go away and do something else whilst they're toasting, but please don't do this because it doesn't take long for them to go from a golden brown to black. Then you'll have to start all over again. For those that are not aware, Burns Night is a big celebration here in Scotland, and it celebrates the life and the works of the Scottish poet and songwriter Robert Burns, who was born on the 25th of January 1759. Once the oats are a golden brown, just place them somewhere and allow them to cool. They should be cold by the time they go into the mixture. Next, I'm adding the double cream to a large bowl and I'm whisking this up until it's thick in texture. Just remember not to over whisk it because we don't want it turning into butter. Next, I'm adding some Scottish whisky. Now, the amount of whisky and the type of whisky really is down to personal taste, as a more peaty whisky can add a completely different flavour to others. Both Adam and myself don't drink whisky, but we do like it in desserts and sauces. Now I'm adding some local heather honey and mixing it all in well before I add the toasted oats. I haven't forgotten about the oats. I've just got sidetracked by mashing up the raspberries and saving a couple to decorate the top later. Cranachan can be made ahead of time, just like I'm doing today. It just means that the toasted oats will be a little bit softer by the time you serve it. And lastly, the toasted oats go into the cream mixture. It really doesn't matter which way you put in the toasted oats, the honey and the whiskey, as long as it all goes in and get mixed up well. And again, I'm saving some oats to decorate the desserts later. To serve the Cranachan, I'm layering the cream mixture with the raspberries, finishing with a layer of cream and the decoration. But some people prefer to mix the berries in with the cream mixture as an Eton mess style dessert. There is really no right or wrong way to serve a Cranachan up. It's down to personal taste. And finally, I'm finishing it off with a sprinkling of the toasted oats, some whole raspberries and a drizzle of heather honey. If I was serving Cranachan up at a dinner party, I would end the night with some coffee and shortbread or some tablet and offer up a wee dram. Now that's the Cranachan made. I'm going to store this in the fridge whilst I make the haggis, neeps and tatties. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in part 2 of the Burns Supper video.